Welcome back to Escape from Hamas. I'm Bill Hemmer. As what is being called all-out war unfolds in the Gaza Strip this week, many people around the world cannot understand why this turmoil in the Middle East is so intractable, why the peoples of the region can't simply live in peace. Even many of us who have covered wars in the region have the same difficulty comprehending all of it. Maybe it's because most of us can only get so close to the conflict and, in effect, only so close to the main perpetrators of the violence. Mosab Hassan, the son of a leading Hamas founder, grew up in this all-too-violent world, and he believed that only Islam and Hamas would save the Palestinian people. But as Jonathan Hunt reports, a stint in prison brought on a crisis of faith.
I spent about 3 months in Israeli cells, like by myself most of the time, like small cell. I saw the sun once, like during that time, about 90 days.
Mosab Hassan went into his cell a radical Palestinian Muslim, head of the Islamic youth movement, proud son of a leader of Hamas. But here in prison, he says, he began to see a different face of the organizations he and his father served.
In any Israeli jail, Hamas has a mini government inside that jail. And they're very, very organized.
So they could organize, they could plan, they could plot.
If they torture, you're not allowed to say anything. If they kill people, you're not allowed to say anything. If they teach you something wrong.
They torture and they kill people in the jail?
They tortured and they killed people.
Their own people?
Their own people.
Why would Hamas torture and kill its own members? Because Mosab Hassan says Hamas leaders feared that anyone and everyone could be collaborating with Israel.
Hamas started to get suspicious about everybody, about themselves, about their wives, about their children, about everybody.
So everybody was guilty until proven innocent?
Exactly. Their method was to gather, they call them red points, on XY person. For example, like if someone spends 5 minutes later than he's supposed to spend in a shower, they think that he's communicating with the Israelis. They're just like collecting points.
And at some point, this person would get enough points against him. And then the people he once saw as heroes would begin to torture. It was primitive and brutal.
They like put needles under their fingernails.
They put needles under the fingernails?
Needles under their fingernails. They don't allow them to sleep for weeks continuously. They just like keep waking them up, put them in a very difficult positions. Burning their bodies by like burning like piece of plastic on their bodies.
He is not right.
Sheikh Hamid Batawi is a leading Hamas official and Islamic court judge. He too spent time in Megiddo prison, and his response to allegations of Hamas torturing and murdering their own is unequivocal.
إطلاقاً غير صحيح. إطلاقاً.
Definitely not true. Definitely. If a prisoner makes a mistake, we use him as an example. Make him clean more. That's the regular punishment.
So the worst thing that Hamas makes other Hamas members do in the jail is clean more?
Definitely yes.
So Mosab Hassan, when he says Hamas members were tortured inside Megiddo prison, is lying?
With all respect to him, of course he is a liar, 100%.
Mosab Hassan insists torture happened, but says he never had to worry about it for 2 reasons. First, his father's leadership position in Hamas, and second, because his uncle, another leading Hamas figure named Ibrahim Abu Salem, was in the same jail at the same time.
He was one of the top leaders of Hamas leadership in the jail during that time.
Abu Salem looked after his nephew, making sure Mosab Hassan was treated well. But as a high-ranking Hamas official, Abu Salem was, according to Mosab Hassan, incredibly cruel to others. So your uncle, Ibrahim Abu Salam, was approving torture?
Yes.
That must have been staggering to you to realize that.
I basically start to lose faith because of this person, like at that time.
Because of your own uncle?
Because of my own uncle and the other Hamas leaders.
And Mosab Hassan says he saw that the organization of Hamas inside the prisons mirrored its organization outside. Acts of violence do not occur without approval of senior political leadership, whether it be Mosab's father, his uncle, or Palestinian Prime Minister Ismail Haniyeh.
Doesn't happen without their knowledge for sure. Haniyeh, my father, everybody in Hamas leadership responsible for any decision that Hamas makes.
So the political wing, including your father, including Prime Minister Haniyeh, may not be the people strapping on a suicide belt, but they are as responsible for that suicide attack.
They are responsible.
And that's what makes Hamas so dangerous, says Mosab Hassan. Whether in the West Bank, Gaza, or here in Megiddo prison, it is committed to a radical ideology that puts little value on human life.
This type of movements, it's not about one person. It's not about one crazy person who's making all those decisions.
Will Hamas ever change? Will it ever be an organization that truly seeks peace with Israel?
No way. There is no chance.
Why not?
Because of Islam, because of their ideology.
Mosab Hassan now describes that ideology in startling terms. That's next.